Hi everyone, today we are going to see some adjustment, how it will be treated in the final state. So the first adjustment is the stock on 31st December 2018 was valued at 80,000. This is nothing but closing stock. How we can treat this closing stock? Remember very well that all the adjustment will come in two places. The effect will be reflected in two places. Now we will see this adjustment where it will be reflecting. So this is the closing stock. So the closing stock always will be considered in the changes in the inventories. The changes in the inventories will be appear in the income statement. So it should be come in the changes in the inventory. So the first effect is changes in the inventory. That is the difference between opening and closing stock will be considered as changes in the inventory. So this is the closing stock 80,000, and in the like trial balance they would have been given the opening stock. So you have to write the difference as changes in the inventory. Okay, next one, that is next effect. It should be shown in the balance sheet asset side. Under which item? The item is inventories. Okay, so inventory, under inventories, we have to show the closing balance of the stock. That is note number 8. Under note number 8, we have to show inventories. So note number 8. So the first adjustment is over. This is the adjustment in all the problems, it will be there. Sometimes if the closing stock is not given, that means it is not wrong. We have to think that there is no closing stock. All the items were sold. Okay. Next is depreciation. So this is also one of the important adjustment, that depreciation. Here it is given machinery and furniture or whatever it is, the depreciation will be given on any tangible assets. So what we have to do? Number one, first effect. First, we have to calculate the depreciation. That is the asset value multiplied by the given percentage. So, for example, here machinery and furniture is given. Check the machinery value, multiply by 10%. So, you will get the depreciation value. What we have to do? That depreciation value should come under the category in the income statement. That is depreciation and amortization under note number 13. Okay. So, first effect is under the heading depreciation, that is note number 13. Okay, next effect. The next effect will be in the balance sheet. In the balance sheet under the fixed assets. Okay, the fixed asset is like you take any first item itself, fixed asset will be there. Under the fixed asset, we will be writing the book value minus the depreciation, and the remaining value will be called as written down value. So you have to deduct the depreciation from the asset value. So this is the next effect. Next, we are moving into reserve for doubtful debts. This is also one of the important adjustments. Always it will be given in the problem. Okay, reserve for doubtful debts. So doubtful debts, bad debts, they may use any word. Reserve for doubtful debts. It is given short form RDD, that is reserve for doubtful debts, or sometimes they will be giving RBD, reserve for bad debts. So all are same. Okay, reserve for bad debt. First, you should calculate what is the percentage given. So for that, you should take the debtors value, multiply the given percentage, you will get the reserve amount. So that much you have to reserve it. There are two places it will affect. One is in the income statement, another one is in the balance sheet. First one is that is under note number 14, that is other expenses. You have to show the reserve for doubtful debts. Okay, the first effect is in the income statement, other expenses, that is note number 14. Okay, so nothing is given, that is old bad debts or nothing is given, directly you can write reserve for doubtful debts. Suppose if it is bad debts is also given, you can take the bad debts, add reserve for doubtful debts, then you can write the net amount as a like whole amount, that is net amount, you can show it in the outer column. Okay, The next effect should be deducted from the debtors. So take the debtors value, deduct the doubtful debts, then remaining you can show it as a closing balance of debtors in the balance sheet. So second effect will be in the current assets under the item current assets. Okay, you can deduct reserve for doubtful debts from debtors, and the remaining amount you can show as the closing balance of debtors in the balance sheet. Okay, so next is director proposed a final dividend. Director proposed a final dividend and they have given CDT also. Okay, director proposed the final dividend means they are going to propose and they are going to give. Still they have not given. They have decided to propose. They have decided to give this much amount of dividend. So number one, first one is very important. It is you are going to give from out of the like a dividend out of the profit. So number one, it should be treated as that is you have not yet given and you are going to give. So it is outstanding. Still you have to give. So it should be considered as a outstanding, and that will be shown under the category of short-term provisions under note number 6. Okay, so we will be showing under short-term provisions in the balance sheet under note number 6, because you have not paid as of now, you have proposed and you are going to pay in the future. Number 2, this is like out of the profit you are going to give. So this amount should be deducted from the current year profit. How you are going to show? So the profit, the final balance of the profit always will be shown under the category of reserves and surplus. So under reserves and surplus, so you will be writing the last year profit, add current year profit. Out of that, whatever amount is coming, out of that you have to deduct the proposed dividend also. So under reserves and surplus, you are going to deduct from the P&L surplus balance. Under deduct from the P&L surplus, and remaining amount will be considered as the closing balance of profit, and that will be called as this year's surplus, and you can show in the balance sheet. Okay, not only that, same way CDT also. So you have to calculate CDT 20.36% on the dividend amount, and that amount again it will be shown as a short-term provision under note number 6. Why? Because the CDT you have to pay, so that you have to show and show under the category of short-term provision, and the same way that is a out of profit you have to pay, so that should be deducted from the P&L surplus account. And very important, if it is this year means usually after 2021 2020 we are companies are not paying CDT, so that is not applicable if the year is given 2021. Okay, next the last adjustment is debenture interest due. So it's like outstanding interest. So outstanding interest means it is to be payable. So number one is generally debenture interest will be shown under the category of finance cost. So under finance cost, already you would have been paid some amount of interest. Otherwise, this should be shown as an interest due. If already some interest is paid means that one you can add the interest due and you can write the net amount of interest in the amount column. So under the finance cost, that is note number 12, you have to show this debenture interest due. Next one is very important. This is one of the item amount you have to pay. So it is payable. Generally, people will do mistake. This amount they will add with the debenture. It is wrong. We should not add with the debentures. It is a due, and that to short-term due you have to pay. So it should come under the category of other current liabilities. That is note number 5. Okay, so these are the 5 important adjustments. Today we saw that, and this is what the effects we have to give in the income statement as well as balance sheet. Thank you.